What's up, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Money. I'm not even really interested that much in saving money. I would rather help you guys earn more money, invest more money so that you have more money to spend to do the things that you want and to get that level of financial freedom. But there are a lot of things that people can do in their budget to kind of clean it up, to be more efficient and to save money, and versus the things that I usually talk about where we're talking about 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. These are 5 ways that you all can clean up your budget a little bit, save some money that are going to help you right now. And we'll give you more money to spend either on the things that really matter to you or investing in stuff so that your money can grow over time. And the only thanks that I ask for is for you guys to hit that like button for me down below and subscribe, hit the notification bell if you are not a subscriber yet so you don't miss anything that I put out. But let's get started with the very first thing that is a huge budget eater for most people, and that is going out to eat, going out to purchase like $5 coffees, things like that, and basically any type of impulse spending that you do related to eating and drinking stuff, because this is a big thing for a lot of folks. A lot of people will go out and spend, $5, $10, $15 on lunch. They might go out for dinner. And, I recently took my family out just for a quick breakfast in the morning at a relatively cheap, locally owned, family-run type of place. And the prices were all very reasonable. But by the time that I fed my family of 5, left a tip and everything, it was $70 on the way out the door. And it's not a big deal if you do that, once a week or, occasionally. But if you are in the habit of going out to eat every day for lunch while you're at work or several times a week when you are home with your family and you're not already financially free and can do that without putting it on a credit card or really putting a crimp in your budget, then you have a lot of room to eliminate some of those and have a lot more money left for you at the end of the month. For example, if you just cut out $50 a week in eating out, and that's not too terribly hard to do by any means, especially for you guys out there that are in an office environment where you can't go out and cook meals, you have to bring it in. So a lot of times it's very convenient to go out and eat lunch out. But if you save $50 a week, that is $2,600 a year that you will be able to have for other things that you may want to do versus, sitting in the office lunchroom and eating. You can use that for anything else that you want to, or you can invest it for your future. In addition to that, the big cliche one is the $5 Starbucks, the $5 coffee. It really does add up to a lot of money. Over the course of the year, if you buy one $5 coffee, or if you don't drink coffee, if you go to the vending machine and you spend $5 or whatever it is that you do that's an extra $5 a day, that is $1,300 a year. So between those two things, you're looking at almost $4,000 of savings with very little cutback in your everyday life. Also, all the impulse spending items that you end up buying, all the stuff on the at the checkout counter, the $2 pack of gum. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it does add up over the course of a year, over the course of your lifetime. Just the $50 a week and the $5 a week adds up to almost $160,000 over the 40 years that most people are at work. So next up is buying brand name items. There's a lot of folks out there that will only purchase brand name items, and it's going to cost you a fortune over the course of your life. And this is, the folks that have to buy the brand new Air Jordans, they have to buy Gap t-shirts, they have to buy the name brand items at the store. And if you're not playing basketball professionally, or if you're just not at least extremely competitive on a team or something like that, a nice pair of Adidas is going to do you just fine. And really, that's a brand name too, but it's typically less expensive than the Nike shoes. Nobody is going to be able to really tell if you are wearing the Gap, if you are wearing whatever is popular right now. I've kind of fallen out of being in the popular crowd with what you're wearing. As long as it fits well and it is relatively in style, people aren't going to care. The t-shirts that I usually wear when I don't have my good Sunday threads on this channel, they're called Next Level Tees. They are between $6 and $10 for a t-shirt that fits extremely well. They're extremely comfortable, and you probably couldn't tell the difference when I wear like the one Gap t-shirt that I have, and I occasionally wear it on this channel. But those t-shirts right now are going for $25 to $50 a piece for a flipping t-shirt. And so if you can, and I'll leave a link down below for these Next Level t-shirts because I love them. I highly recommend them. Like I said, they fit great. They are very durable. And they've saved me a ton of money over the course of a year just buying a $8 to $10 t-shirt. Plus, if something happens to it, if I snag it on something, it gets torn. If I get a bleach stain in it inadvertently, I'm not as torn up as if I would have done that on a $50 Gap t-shirt. This also goes for your store brands versus your name brands. Now listen, in my line of work, I've been in a lot of factories. I've been in brand name factories like Keebler, for example. A lot of these places, they are making the store brand items. Have you ever looked at like Chips Ahoy and then whatever knockoff Chips Ahoy cookie, like Walmart, whatever they call theirs, or Kroger, whatever they call theirs? You ever notice how they look extremely similar? They probably come off of the same line, and there's no reason to pay the premium price for the brand name when you're getting exactly the same thing in the store brand item. Now, even store brands can have a premium attached to them. If you've ever shopped at Kroger versus an Aldi or whatever it is that your major label supermarket is where you live versus Aldi, you will notice that Aldi is at least usually 20 to 30% cheaper. You get the same quality items. And so if you can just not buy the brand name and not even buy the major store label name and go to like an Aldi or a Trader Joe's or something like that, there's a good chance that you will be able to save a lot of money, especially on a grocery bill, which is a big part of everyone's budget. Imagine if you could save 30% on your grocery bill. The third thing that you guys can do to save a ton of money every month is you guys need to drop subscriptions that you do not need. I'm sure everyone out there has some sort of subscription that probably isn't doing them any good. They're probably not using it very much. You may not even notice that you have it on your bill anymore because it's a small amount, but it adds up to a large amount over the course of time. Now, these things are things like music subscriptions like Spotify, Pandora, video subscriptions like Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu. They're even cable subscriptions. Cable TV is awful, in my opinion. There's never anything that's on to watch. Even if you have the premium channels, HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, I have all these at work, and I very rarely end up watching any of them because there's never anything on that I want to watch. So over-the-air television provides some very fabulous programming, and then if you can cut your cable bill and pick one or two of these video streaming platforms like Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu and just kind of, focus in on the ones that you want that have the things that you want going on, you can end up saving a ton of money on your cable bill because cable is insane. Another place that people can save a lot of money on subscriptions is internet and cell phone plans. For the most part, unless you are doing major video uploading, like I should probably up my internet subscription, but I don't because I can just leave it here and it uploads and it takes, 5 minutes or whatever. But most of you guys out there who aren't playing computer games or something like that or video games are good with whatever the minimum broadband that someone offers in your area. You can stream 4K television. You can play video games with 50 meg per second online speed. If your lowest through like Xfinity or Comcast or whatever is 200, take the lowest one that is going to be more than enough unless you are doing something that is very internet intensive. Also on your all cell phone plans, if you are with a major provider like AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, something like that, there's a good chance that you could save a ton of money and still have the same exact service if you went with a virtual mobile operator like Cricket, like TracFone Wireless, something like that. Cricket is actually exactly AT&T's network. They're wholly owned by AT&T. I highly recommend them. I'll leave a link to to a video that I did on Cricket Wireless, a coast-to-coast review. My cell phone plan for 2 phones, essentially unlimited, is $70 a month flat. That is it. No extra fees, taxes, nothing like that. These are just a lot of the ways that you can cut subscriptions, you can cut services, and save a ton of money over the course of the year that you can either spend on things that you really want to do or that you can invest to grow for your future. Now, the fourth thing, and this is, everyone's going to say this, and there's a reason everyone says it, it's because you need to do it. You need to pay off that toxic debt, guys. These are your credit cards. These are your high-interest car loans. This is personal loans. These are loans for toys like ATVs, campers, boats, anything that has an interest rate that's more than like 2 or 3% because because at least then you'd be under the rate of inflation. These things are going to murderize your budget, especially credit card loans or credit card bills. Those can be up to 18 to 24% interest annually, which means up to 2% a month. Get that stuff retired and you will have an instantaneous return on your money of 24% if you're at the 2% a month level. These types of things will continually drag you down. Avoid using your credit cards. Avoid taking high interest debt. Now, I have been in favor of taking very low interest debt as long as you have the money in investments or in savings to cover it. For example, like cars at 0%. Mortgages on a 30-year mortgage for these incredibly low rates that we have right now. Those can be good debts, but retire that terrible debt that's weighing you down. Next and last is to cut your online spending. This is a place where people can get in a lot of trouble and will add to the thing that I just talked about with your credit card debt. Buying things online and having them delivered to your door, and then subscribing even on Amazon, which gets back to subscriptions for items that you may or may not need. But it is super accessible to us right now to the point where it's almost bad for folks because they can spend their money online so easily. And it's very convenient to be able to get things from Amazon, but it is very easy to buy a bunch of stuff that you don't need. So there's a trick that I like to use is if there's something that I don't necessarily need, like if I need brakes for my car, I just buy them. If I, need a product for some reason, I just buy it. But if it's something that I'm looking for that I do not need, it is extra to my life, it is not a necessity. A trick that you can use, put that item in the cart for 24 hours. Just sit on it for one day. You don't need that thing tomorrow, and it's probably not going to come tomorrow. So sit on it for 24 hours. When you wake up in the morning, if you still say, I really need this item, and it wasn't just some sort of an impulse buy or retail therapy, then go ahead and order that if it's what you really want to do. If you can't afford it, if you don't have to put it on a credit card, if it's not critical, that is when you go ahead and order that, and that is a pretty solid way to cut down on your online spending and cut down on the amount of impulse buys that you're making online while you are bored on your phone. So guys, after you've made all this savings and you want to know what to do with that, if you're not spending it on things that you really want to do to improve your life and you want to invest it, take a look at the video that's on the screen right now. It is going to show you how I invest my money into index funds, and there will probably be a video up there, a playlist about how I invest in real estate to grow my wealth so that in the future I can spend as much money as I want on anything I want because I will have the money to do that. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe down below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything I put out on personal finance. I'd appreciate it if you give this video a big thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.